It's a strenuous news cycle that starts every Sunday. And 91-year-old Frans Hugo has no time to waste if he's to make his Thursday deadline. Far from the trappings of a mainstream newsroom, this is a newsroom in the main street of small town Karoo, a place called Calvinia in the Hantam district.
Hy is 'n deel van Calvinia soos die rooi posbus wat hier oorkant ontstaan.
With printed newspapers on the decline globally, Frans and his team are bucking the trend.
The people don't read newspapers anymore. And I'm just, I don't know when to stop it.
The Noordwester's newsroom appears preserved in a time capsule, a window into a bygone era. Frans Hugo has been producing 3 different community newspapers every week for the past 45 years.
Walking through here is like taking a step back into history. I mean, I can't imagine what it must have been like all of these years ago trying to print a newspaper. In Calvinia, it still happens that way. I mean, look at this.
Frans got his start in papers as what's known as a letterpress, later becoming the editor of a publication in Namibia. After a stint at daybreak in Cape Town, he bought the Noordwester in 1979.
I bought a linotype. Do you know the linotype?
No.
You don't?
No.
That's a lead machine.
Okay.
When I had a linotype, there's a different keyboard. I could work that quite well. And we carried on with that, and then we started with phototype setting. So I went over to the USA and I bought one of those things over there. And it was a problem to have to learn how to work with it. But then, of course, eventually we got to the computer.
Okay.
Well, I should be able to type after all these years. With 2 fingers.
Frans's 80-year-old wife, 𝗀𝗫𝗄𝗃 Hugo, is co-editor. She's grown accustomed to the late nights and early mornings her husband has been keeping for nearly half a century.
We sleep here for 3 days to make a newspaper. Otherwise, we live at our house just the other side of town.
Frans writes all of the week's stories, and once they're finalized, he and 𝗀𝗀𝗃 are up at 3 a.m. every Wednesday to work on the paper's layout. The printing presses can't be kept waiting.
1981.
5 March, ja.
I was only 1 year old. I was only 1 year old.
Ik ben 19 jaar oud toen ik begonnen werken.
Tot nou?
Nee, ik had 2022 klaargemaakt toen ik 67 was. Toen had ik nog weer een jaar en 5 maanden bereikt. Toen ik nog juni maand weer begonnen.
Toen kom je maar terug.
Dan moet ik maar weer terugkomen.
Martha van Wyk is one of 4 staff members who've all committed a lifetime to the newspaper.
Ik doe bij mensen gewerkt. Aan mijn leeftijd. Maar dan weer aan een wijveld, dan kan je misschien bij je beter werk gekregen, meer verdienen en zo aan. Maar ik denk als bij van de goede dat je geleerd.
For Martha, Frans's newsroom has cultivated a love of reading and sharing information.
Ik denk, Koran brengt nieuws wat bij van ons mensen niet kennen, ja.
Ja. Elke week kry jy 'n koran wat vir ons nogal baie na uitsien.
Here in the Hantam, seeing the faces of people you know in a newspaper is worth more than likes and shares online.
Facebook of wat sosiale media is dit nou al so vervelig. Is maar net 'n gewone foto. En môre was dit af of jy weet uit onmiddellik as jy dit wil hê nie.
Ja.
Maar koran foto sal daar bly.
It's one of the reasons the paper has survived.
They like their own pictures in there, even if it's only in black and white in my newspaper.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons why I think the newspaper situation is collapsing. They're making it too expensive. All colored pictures, a lot of stuff. Over here, we just do it ourselves.
Mounting costs in the print media have coincided with declining readerships. 𝗬𝗏𝗃, where Frans once worked, reportedly dwindled from about 60,000 in 2014 to 27,000 in 2022. The Noordwester, meanwhile, stays afloat with money from advertising.
We are lucky to have every week a full-page, full-color advert, which pays the wages every week.
And almost miraculously, come Wednesday, there are enough ads and stories to compile a paper.
Maar kijk, ik heb mijn boeken hier zo, man. En ik kan het opschrijven. Advertenties en stories dat ik gekregen en foto's.
From Sunday to Wednesday, Frans patiently waits for stories to be emailed so he can write the articles.
Ek dink is die laaste van 'n era. Daar sal nie weer so iemand wees nie.
For locals like Dr. 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗃, the newspaper has become an institution in the community.
Die papier wat jy voel, Franse taalgebruik is pragtig. Jy lees dit in Afrikaans. Dis die spulpunt van ons gemeenskap. Jy kan na die TV nuus kyk. Dit gee vir jou wat in Israel gebeur en dit. Maar die Noordwester sê vir jou wat hier in Calvinia gebeur.
But stories are sent from across the region to feature in all 3 newspapers.
Die Lokstandse kerk is nou so 100 jaar oud. En die mense het nou advertenties by my geplaas. En 'n foto en 'n storie. Dis nou wat ek het en nou moet ek maar daarmee begin. Om 'n storie te maak wat dan 'n koerantstorie te maak.
In town, the papers are sold and delivered by bicycle.
Like by R8 for the newspaper.
R8?
Yeah.
How much when you start?
Nowadays you can buy a box of matches as well.
But the bike can only cover a small area. To ensure a healthy circulation, Frans hand delivers to towns across the region.
I wake up at 1 o'clock and then I start driving at 2:30 or 2 o'clock.
Okay.
My wife puts in a lot of food for me.
Okay. Wat eet jy op die pad, oom?
Oh, kaas, brood. Dis daar vat ek de biltong.
Biltong.
Biltong, ja.
Okay.
Droom wors.
Every Thursday from 1 in the morning until 7 at night, Frans travels over 1,200 kilometers.
You see, there's no other way I can get it there.
Yes.
Train is not working. I used the train when I started here.
Yes.
And of course the post office is now closed down. So there's no other way I can get it over there.
But there's little time to rest on his return. He spends Fridays and Saturdays balancing the books before the cycle starts again on a Sunday.
Goeiedag meneer. Meneer, ek is meneer Isaacs. Ek doen 'n roetine-inspeksie meneer.
Traffic officer 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃, known as 𝗀𝗵𝗃𝗃, has been a loyal reader for over 30 years.
Daar seker baie belangrike dinge of aspekte wat binne die gemeenskap plaasvind wat mense baie keer nie van weet nie. En dan koop die mense hierdie koerantjie, dan sien die mense. Misdrywe wat gepleeg word binne ons gemeenskappe. Die koerant dra ook by gesteelde goedere wat deur die polisie gesoek word. Dis ook 'n goeie bydrae wat die koerant.
Seeing his own picture in the newspaper spurred him on as a youngster.
Ek het in Calvinia gekom as 'n baie goeie atleet. En dis hierdie einste koerant wat my op die map gesit het. Ek het verskillende marathons gewen en hierdie koerant het my naam sommer goed opgelig.
Social media, 𝗀𝗵𝗃 says, just isn't the same.
Die enigste blikkie van waardering wat ons vir Oom Frans en sy wonderlike vrou kan gee vir hierdie deursettingsvermoëns is as om elke donderdag sy koerant te koop.
If there's anything that Oom Frans can teach us all is that despite your age, if you love what you do and you do what you love, that passion will keep you alive. And I guess age is then just a number.
Some chemicals that we put together and finish developing.
I'm lucky to be able to still work, you know. Most people, 80 they sit at home. And 2-3 months later, 6 months later, they bury them or burn them. So I don't know whether I was lucky now to live 20 years longer than I should have lived. But I'm still enjoying it, so why not?